What's up guys, it's Victoria from Under Victoria's Spell, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about my July reading plans. I cannot believe we're into the 7th month of the year. Holy crap, I need to get it together and catch up on my books for my reading goal, but I'm very excited to talk about the 5 books that I plan on reading in the month of July. So let's hop into it. The first book that I'm going to talk about is actually a rollover from last month because I unfortunately did not get to it, but I'm really wanting to, and that's Him by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy. I think this cover is absolutely gorgeous. It's a hockey romance. It's a MM romance. So I have really been wanting to pick this up. It's honestly been on my TBR for years, and I'm just now like finally have a physical book in my hand and I'm really wanting to get to it. I believe that they are rivals, so they both play hockey, and of course they're gonna have chemistry. I kind of have gone into it very blind, but I know it's very good. It's very angsty. It's a page turner that you are definitely going to want to get to, so I'm very excited, and I've been loving MM romances when they're done correctly, and of course if Serena Bowen or Elle Kennedy's writing this book, it's gonna be fantastic. So that's the first book that I'm hoping to get to in the month of July. And the next book that I plan on getting to in the month of July is actually a continuation in a series that I'm reading. I'm slowly working my way through my favorite authors backlist, and currently I'm working on the Clifton Forge series by Devney Perry, and it's book 2 that I plan on reading. It's Riven, I believe. I'll have a picture of it right here. But I'm very excited about this one because this follows someone else that works in the car auto body shop, and he's kind of like the more quiet and reserved one, and he intrigued me from the very beginning in book 1. So I'm very excited to see his story with his heroine. We got a little tease of it at the end of the first book, so I'm very excited to continue in the story. Also, book 1 kind of left on a cliffhanger with kind of the crime or the plot that's going on in the town with one of the family members, so I want to see how this person's story is going to continue, and I'm just ready to fall back into small town. I am definitely in my small town era. I just cannot get enough of small town romance, so I'm ready to eat up some more small town romance, some more Devney Perry. So that is the second book that I'm planning on getting to in the month of July. The next book that I plan on reading in the month of July is going to be my audiobook pick when I get my Audible credit, and I'm wanting to listen to a most anticipated read for me. I've picked it up before, but I really think I'm going to have to read on audio to really get the full experience, and that's Sea of Ruin by Penn Godwin. I talked about this in my last video where I talk about the books I want to read before the end of 2023, and this one's really long, so I really want to get to this one. The cover is stunning. I've heard nothing but good things about Pam Godwin. I've never read anything by her before, so this will be a first time reading her books, and this highly hyped book in my opinion that I've seen on Bookstagram and Booktube. So that is going to be my audiobook pick for July. I'm excited. I know it's a historical pirate romance. Other than that, I don't know a lot. I believe it's a reverse harem. I could be wrong on that, but I do know it's going to follow these 3 characters, and I think it's a love triangle between them. But I feel like it's going to be so fun. It's going to be a mixture of like Pirates of the Caribbean and maybe Peter Pan. That's kind of what I've envisioned in my head when thinking about this story. But also, this is the first time I'm reading a historical, but I'm guessing, I don't think it's a fantasy. I believe it is just a historical romance, but I'm very excited to try out this author and this audiobook and finally check this off my list of one of the most anticipated reads that I want to read in 2023. And the next book that I want to read in July is Voyeur by Fiona Cole. This has been on my radar. This has actually been downloaded in my Kindle for a while, and I finally want to get to it. It was recommended after I read the Salacious Players Club series as well as the Wolf Hotel series. This book and the Voyeur series has been compared to those books, and I really enjoyed both of those series. So I was like, I really want to pick this up. I've also never read Fiona Cole before, so I was like, let's start with the new series, and I love me some spice. So I do believe this has to do with teacher-student relationship, I believe, and also a little bit of like the sexual realm. I believe that the hero finds our heroine in a sex club, if I'm not wrong. So that is kind of what I know about the story going off. I'm excited. I really didn't want to know too much about this because I knew that it was compared to the other two series I really enjoyed. So I've been trying to go in a little blind with my books here lately, and it's really helped me get out of my reading slump. I'm excited to try Fiona Cole, this new series, and if you've read the series, please let me know. I'm very intrigued. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this series and this book in particular, so if you've read it, please let me know. But that is the next book that I plan to read. And the last book that I plan on reading in the month of July is actually my buddy read that I do with Autumn and Erica every month. And this month it was Autumn's pick, and she picked The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. I don't know if I said the author's last name correctly. I apologize about that. But I've never heard of this author. This is a new to me author as well, but I really trust Autumn and her picks because she picked the Marnie Man book that we buddy read, and I absolutely loved that book. I cried. So I was like, I'm down to read whatever because I trust your recommendations. So I actually don't know a lot about this book at all because I've never heard of it or the author, but I do know it follows our heroine as she's kind of re-picking up her life after a divorce, I believe, and she moves to a small town and meets this author, I believe, and it also has things to do with letters and unwritten books. That's kind of the gist that I got of the book. I don't know if it's a second chance romance, the enemies to lovers. I really am going into this blind like I did with the Marnie Man book. It sounds so good though. I'm very excited. I feel like it's gonna be emotional. I feel like Autumn picks the emotional, hard-hitting ones, and I'm completely okay with that because sometimes you need a good cry when you're reading a book. But that's our buddy pick for the month of July. And those are the books that I have picked out for the month of July. I'm very excited. I'm very hopeful for this month. I've really got myself out of my reading slump. I'm so thankful for that. I can't wait to do my June wrap up and talk about all the books that I've been absolutely loving here lately. But super excited. I want to know what you're reading in the month of July, and let me know how your reading 2023 goal is going. I'm 4 books behind. I need to get it together. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye.